Barbara, thank you very much for joining us today. And I think the question is, why? The importance of speaking your native language.
Firstly, I just want to say thank you for having me. It's a great opportunity to be here.
Pleasure having you.
The importance of speaking your mother language or your native tongue is that it is who you are, it connects you to where you're from, and it's also a form of your identity. So for me, I'm one of the blessed ones. I'm Ghanaian. Parents taught me to speak Twi at home, especially my dad. He encouraged us to speak Twi. When we was at home, he used to say, look, if you speak English outside, when you're in this house, you speak Twi. So it always gave us a sense of identity. Even though we lived in the UK, we understood that we were from somewhere else. And what's happened over time is we've stopped speaking our language and we've stopped passing it down. So for me, I think it's really important that we can encourage the younger generation to hold on to this because it's so important, so that's why I think it's really important.
But then, people, especially, I know that we're global now, international, right? Yeah. People are watching us from all over the world. And the likes of us who happens to live in the diaspora, of course, the common language, if you're in the UK, is English. Yeah. And so you realize that, people that have come here from across the continent of Africa, settled, and English is the dominant language. Is it necessary, should I put it, to want to instill the native language in the child? Of
course it is, because it shouldn't be one or the other. Okay. So for example, when you go to France, when you go to Germany, when you go to Italy, they can still speak other languages, but they still hold on to their own language. So I think that, we shouldn't feel that it should be one or the other. It should be, being bilingual is a positive thing. So I think that we shouldn't get into the situation where it feels like, why should we speak our own language? Because it's really important to connect us to who we are. And also it's a skill to be able to speak two languages. If you can speak French and German, people think, oh my God, you're amazing. So why is it that the African language, specifically, obviously because I'm from Ghana, why is it that I can speak Twi and I can speak English? Why do I have to choose one or the other? Why can't I speak both and celebrate both?
I can tell you're very passionate about this. How has it shaped you though, as a person?
For me, I was always brought up in a household where we knew we were Ghanaian. We spoke Twi, as I said to you just now. My dad, both my parents actually, but more so my dad, because he was a proud Ghanaian, proud to be from Africa. And he recognised the importance of making sure that even though he had left Ghana, it was still important that his children understood where they were from. So for me, it shaped me in terms of not just the language, but the culture. Eating jollof rice. I know there's a beef between Nigeria and Ghana.
I think that has been settled.
Has it really?
Senegal actually won.
Senegal won, Yes. But things like the food, understanding, throwback. Do you remember Osofadazi?
Osofadazi, absolutely.
Osofadazi. My parents used to get the video, for those that, was it VCR? For those, I'm going way back.
Way back.
And we used to sit around the TV as a family and watch that. And it used to be in Twi. And me and my siblings could understand it. Afterwards, we'd have a conversation. So it gave us a real sense of pride. So even though we were British or living in the UK, we still had a sense that we belonged to something else. And we were from something else, which was Africa and specifically Ghana and the Akan tribe, So I think for me, it shaped everything about who I am, live in the UK, but very proud to be Ghanaian. So,
now I think it'd be much easier for people wanting to identify with their roots. Yes. I came here in the 90s, I think mid-90s or early 90s, 94, 95, I was here. And it wasn't cool.
I know.
To show your true identity or culture. Yeah. I think a lot of my friends watching will be thinking, we used to wanted to speak patois.
Wanted to be Jamaican.
Right, wanted to be Jamaican, which, there was nothing wrong, because at the end of the day, that was what was happening. We were heavily influenced by their music, their culture and everything. But it seems to be a shift now, isn't it?
Definitely.
And when you speak to people, there's a sense of
pride.
Like, a sense of pride, but also the fact that they feel they've missed out on something. The fact that they weren't really speaking the native language at the time.
Yeah.
One artist, A-Star, released a song talking about his mother tongue. And he said he wishes he could speak his language. But when he was younger, his parents never spoke it to him. And I think, if I may ask, do you think that it's more of a thing where, because we do get it in our community, where parents want their children to speak English.
Definitely.
There's this notion that if you speak English, it makes you more intelligent.
That is the notion, but I think that firstly, we have to be kind to ourselves, because I have friends who can't speak either Ga, Ewe or Chi. And I think that it shouldn't be a discussion about blame, because with all good intentions, when our parents came here, they felt that if we can speak English, it will open up lots of opportunities for us. So I think what some parents did is they focused on that aspect, not realizing that you can have both. So, and I completely understand, when I was growing up, it wasn't cool to speak your language. So sometimes I'll be out in public and my mum will be speaking Chi. But the difference for me is, because it had been instilled in us at home that even though you live in the UK, you are still Ghanaian and you're still from Africa, it kind of built a sense of, we had a sense of pride. So it was and for us, it was quite funny, because sometimes my parents would communicate with us. They would tell us things, we would share jokes that other people couldn't understand. So there was also that element of feeling different, but in a positive way. But I do understand, and I think that people shouldn't be a negative thing, because they can still learn and they can still connect.
I was just about to come to that.
They can still connect, yeah.
Do you think, if you missed out in your childhood, maybe as a grown-up, it's a bit too late to
It's never too late. It's never too late. You can learn, and that's why, for example, with our books, we've started Puka Dumplings books. We've started with basic. So, for example, the first book is 1, 2, 3 counting in Tree. So it helps children or even adults that want to connect to learn, and we've done it phonetically. So even if you don't speak the language, it helps with the pronunciation. But I think that it is never too late, and there's loads of other, the Ghanaian language school, there's loads of other institutions that can help you to learn the language. So no, it's never too late. And don't be too hard on yourselves, because you can start from somewhere. I
mean, I know you just mentioned that you begin with counting.
Yeah.
So if you could just maybe elaborate a little bit more, the process.
So basically, for me, I wanted to teach my daughter, and I wanted to pass on some of the tree words or what I knew to her. So I thought, when children are learning to speak, they start with the alphabet, they start with 1, 2, 3, they start with colours, shapes. I thought, let me start with 1, 2, 3. So I got her involved. So obviously, Bakon is 1, but if you don't speak the language, it's hard to pronounce it. So what I did was I broke it down phonetically. So it would be Bakon, and how it sounds.
Yes.
So it makes it easier. So once you introduce the child to the sounds, to the language, it makes it easier, and it makes them more interested to learn. So then with the second book, we focused on days of the week and names, because names are also important. So for example, I was born on a Wednesday, so I am Acheampong, and you were born?
Thursday.
So what are you?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. So I thought that, and I wanted to also make it more not exclusive, more diverse to everybody. So regardless whether you're Ghanaian, whether you are British, whether you are French, everybody's born on a certain day. So all children can get involved. And also I think it's important that African languages are kind of exposed to the curriculum or exposed to other children. It's not just about European languages, French, Spanish, We've got loads of amazing languages in Africa that children can tap into. And also I think it goes back to the whole concept of identity, because then kids can see that from Africa, we have these languages, and these languages are also as important as European languages and as valuable. And that feeds back to feeling proud of being from Africa.
Well, you've more or less
Sorry.
my next question. I mean, that's fine.
I was on the roll there.
Yeah, that's fine. You've more or less answered my next question, which is, you know, our point of discussion today. Of course, across the continent of Africa, Ghana in particular.
Yeah, Ghana in particular,
Ghana, the official language in Ghana is English. And of course, you've spoken about the fact that there are diverse languages in the country. And today, it'd be good to hear your take on this, right? Where the question we're asking our viewers and listeners today is that, is it time to do away with, you know, foreign languages such as English and French that are used to teach or used as official languages, and maybe adopt a native language to teach?
I mean, I think that's a really interesting question. And I think from what I kind of explained before, we shouldn't get into this debate about one or the other, because obviously Ghana was ruled by the British.
Yes.
So a lot of our history is connected to Britain and English. So I'm sure that a lot of people do speak English. Also, we have to appreciate that there's loads of different dialects in Ghana, you know. So then what language would we choose as the dominant language for everyone to speak? So my take on it, I would say languages, whatever language you speak is important, and it opens up the world to you. So if you speak English, it opens up the whole world to you. If you speak French, it opens up the world to you. What we need to do is we also need to value our own languages, so that we know that if I speak Tree, it opens up the world to me. If I speak Ewe, so we have to respect that and celebrate that. You know, it shouldn't be one or the other. It should be both, because both offer different opportunities. So I don't think we should, this is just my little take on it. I think being bilingual is a positive thing, and you know, so I think that it's a debate that we should have more conversation on.
Okay, and where can people find you and also get in contact? So
you can go to our website, which is pukidumplings.com. Or our handle on Instagram is @Pookie_dumplings_books, and you can follow us there. And my contact details are on my page. So if you want to have a conversation or find out more information, please don't hesitate to get in touch with me.
How was it? It was good?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you very much for coming on the show,
Thank
Barbara.
you for having me.
Thank you very much.